20. Hi, I'm your host, Jeremy.
And I'm your host, Lizzie. Here is Cindy, Loomis, and Trenton.
This shape has 5 pie slices, right? If you color 2 in, it equals 2/5. Thank you.
Next up is Zach and Kyle. Choose a fraction for the part that is not shaded. You know that there are 10 stripes. So, you know that 7 are filled in, and 3 cannot be filled in because 7 plus 3 is 10. So the answer, we are looking for the ones that are not shaded. So the answer is 3/10.
Next up is Chris and Dylan Belgian.
Decide whether the fractions are equivalent. 3/4 and 9/12. 3 times 4 is 12. And 3 times 3 is 9. Once you multiply them, three times 3 is 9. And then with the extra 3 that you have, you add that onto the 9 to equal 12. The answer is yes.
Next up is Zach and Kyle. Choose an equivalent fraction. Alright, so if there's 8 times 10, if you divide that by 2, you get 4/5. And that's in simplest form, so you know that would have to be the right answer. So the answer is B.
Next up is Vivian and Haley. Compare. Choose greater than, less than, or equal to. 6/7. The answer is 6/7 because 6 is closer to its denominator than 4/6 is. So is A. So it is A. If you're not satisfied, here's another way to do it. 6 times 7 is 42, and that is the denominator. And the new one, then 6 times 6 is 36. And that is the new numerator. Then for the next problem, it's 6 times 7 equals 42 for the denominator, and 6 times 6 equals 36. That's the new numerator.
Next up is Cindy and Trenton.
Order the fractions from greatest to least. So we have 1/2, 2/6, and 5/6. If we have to make them all, we have to make the denominator the same. So let's make 2 into 6. 2 times 3 equals 6. And 1 times 3 equals 3. Put them in the correct order. 5/6, 3/6, and 2/6 is your answer. So B.
Next up is Vivian and Haley. Complete the equivalent fraction. It is A because 2 goes into 6 3 times.
To put a fraction in simplest form, you divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. In this case, 2 is the largest number that I can divide 2 and 10 both by. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5, which gives me a new fraction in simplest form of 1/5. The answer is 1/5.
Here is Justin and Brendan.
Choose a fractional part of the number. First, you make 12 circles, split them into 6 groups. Then color 5. Count the circles colored in. For the answer you get 10.
Next up is Paige and Peyton.
Look at the shaded part. Choose the correct mixed number or whole number. You will look at the ones that are all shaded in, and there's only one, so we will circle that one and write a big 1 down below. Now on the one right next to it, only half of it is shaded, so we will write 1/2. And how to write that is just 1, a line, and a 2. The answer would be A.
Here is Michelle and Marissa.
Choose the sum or difference in simplest form. First, you find the real answer, which is 8/12. Then you divide it by 4 with the top and the bottom of the fraction. And you'll get 2/3. The answer is D.
Next up is Chloe and Sophia.
6/7 minus 3/7. Here's a tip. Never minus the denominator. 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. So the answer is 3/7.
Next up is Sophie and Elena.
Choose the different in simplest form. 1 2/3 minus 1 1/3 equals 1/3. Because 2 minus 1 equals 1. And you never change the denominator. So it's 1/3. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So the answer is 1/3. Thank you. Next up is Autumn and Cindy.
It is B or 1 1/4. It could be C, but C is not in simplest form, so it's B.
Next up is Gage and Dylan Cully.
The numerator are small and the denominator is large. This answer is less than 1.
Next up is Jake and Adam. Choose greater than 1 or less than 1. 3 out of 4 is bigger than 1/2, and 5 out of 6 is bigger than 1/2. So if you put them together, they will be bigger than 1.